Hey, I'm Kevin, owner of RestoMod Classics. All I work on mainly is 65, 66 Mustangs. Right here, start out in New Orleans, and now I live in Waveland, Mississippi.
Could you describe the client of this car behind you?
Describe, all right, that's a new one. Well, one thing I'll say about Reese is punctuality. That was one of the biggest things with my clients is that when I work on your car, you are my bread and butter. I'm only working on your car, not 5 other customers' cars, so I don't have this revolving income from various people. With that being said, as soon as a phase was done and a bill was sent out, I mean, he was Johnny on the spot and made sure it was paid faster than I even expected. So that part of it was wonderful. Thank you. The words would be cool, very cool person, understanding. Definitely a game player as far as when we hit some rough patches, we were able to figure it out right away together. He seems very excited about the car, so that's cool. That always makes the build a lot more fun and enjoyable. He seems very happy, like genuinely happy throughout this whole process, and I've kept him up to date with pictures and conversations all throughout the whole process, and it all just seemed just an awesome experience.
What type of restoration would you call this car?
It was quite a bit. It started out as a paint job, budget-friendly paint job, turned into, you know, buying new supplies and products and basically bumper to bumper redoing the whole car or assembling the whole car. So a pretty thorough restoration job. I think it's a beautiful job, personally, not because I did it, but I just walk into this shop every morning and I just look at it, I'm like, oh wow, what a transformation. Really isn't much left to do on the car, so I guess a full-blown restoration. Just the backstory behind it made it a little bit extra special for me to be a part of, understanding that it was his dad's car that was passed on to him, having pictures of that car and memories of that car. I honestly don't do this for the money, I do it for the stories, just the feeling I get and knowing that I did that. And so with the backstory coming with this car, it makes it that much more enjoyable. Despite how frustrated I was throughout certain phases, just knowing that made it so much better to continue on instead of just, a lot of times this is why a lot of cars take a year or two, because a lot of people push them aside once they get sick of it and move on to another car, but I don't have that option. So just thinking of the joy and the happiness it's gonna bring the customer, I kept it going. So yeah, I gave it a lot of love. I definitely was not planning on having the paint job come out to this caliber. What happens after the paint job is what really separates a budget paint job and a high dollar paint job, is the amount of love and care that goes into cutting, buffing, and polishing it out and making it look like glass. So I did all that, and that was hours of just sweating and breaking my back. But I knew it would be the difference between a regular driving car and potentially a show quality car. So yeah, a lot of love went into this. This is a 65 convertible Mustang, but now it resembles, because of the interior and whatnot, well, from the gauges and whatnot, it's more of a 66 style versus a 65. However, originally it was a 65 Ford Mustang convertible, 289 C-code. The misstamp on his VIN number versus the stamping on the data plate, a convertible Mustang will have an 8 to represent convertible, 7 is a coupe, 9 is a fastback. This car has a stamping of a 7, which would make it a coupe and not a convertible on the actual VIN A-print. But all the numbers, all the rest of the numbers, sequential numbers, are all the same as the data tag, which has an 8 on it. So it's just one of those misprints, which happens a lot. I just had another fastback that I bought that had a 7 instead of a 9. Enough time has passed to where people don't even care if you're into buying and selling them. They care about the body style versus what's really going on with the VIN. So yeah, so that was a little weird thing, and then we had to have a sheriff department come out here and verify the VIN and everything, which luckily all went well. And he was able to get the title for it in Florida. I saw him on Mustang 64 through 66 site that I'm no longer a part of. He was talking about his hood, and I misread his whole thing, and I thought he was trying to figure out if he had a Shelby hood or if it was just a regular fiberglass hood. But I didn't know it was a real Shelby hood, and I was trying to get some information on it. So I put in my 2 cents worth, and we kind of started conversing, and before you know it, I get a call from a friend in New Orleans saying, hey, he's got a convertible that he wants to send over here to have painted or looked at for bodywork and rust repair and paint. And come to find out, it was the same guy I've been talking to over the Facebook, chatting about his hood that's back there. And so we hit it off from there. He brought the car and we agreed on what to get done and we did it. Yeah, I want to say it's going on to 4 months. It was rough. Quarter panels, the whole back well was all replaced, partial trunk floor, cowl, top and bottom sections were replaced. We did quite a bit of metal repair, rust repair. Ended up with all new sheet metal up front, doors, fenders, hood. Did extensive body work and then painted the car. That took about 2 months, and then he decided he'd like to get it all, the rest of it done here. So here it is, a couple of months, you know, about, yeah, going on to 4 months, which is not bad, but the drivetrain was already done, so that saved a lot of time on my part. I wouldn't sell this car now for less than 45. If you decided to, you know, for some reason, sell it, be around 45,000 is what I would guess. So, I mean, that's how I make my living. I build them and I sell them. I mainly do fastback, so the market is pretty strong right now, and it's been going well. So they're valuable. Definitely fastbacks the highest, convertibles next, and coupe third in line. But you never know that with all these modifications and stuff these days that people are doing, it could vary all over the place. But yeah, the main value in these, the satisfaction of taking a piece of rust and turning it into something that just turns people's head, and it's beautiful. First Mustang I ever saw was my dad's, which was a 1972 Mach 1. It's actually a car that I learned how to drive in. But over the years, I never liked the big body, so I don't know how I came to liking 65, 66s. I think they're just a smaller body style and I just like them better. But yeah, 72 Mach 1.
Has your daughter picked out her favorite Mustang yet? Her favorite car?
She loves Mustangs. She's always talking about, she knows Mustangs when she sees them, and she thinks that one's her, and after this leaves, she wants to paint it. That's a 65 fastback. So they're all fastbacks, 65 fastbacks, and so she thinks it's hers, and every time I finish one and sell it, she's like, well, you sold my car. So she loves them too. We had to make some decisions on the color, white stripes, and what color to go with, whether bright or Wimbledon, which is a little bit cream. Decided on Wimbledon because it matches the interior better. We had the interior is also a little bit cream, the TMI. GT stripes are a little brighter, but you can't see both of them at the same time, so it's really irrelevant. But that picking out those color combinations took forever, and especially trying to paint the inside of the doors to match TMI off-white interior. So it was a little bit of a headache, but overall I think the combination came out pretty great, pretty nice. I know Reese had left me a photo of what the car used to look like back in, I believe, the 80s, early 80s. It was important for him, for this process that was going to take place, to resemble that photo. Obviously it was important to do the same color combo and same style rims and everything. So we modified a few things to be a little bit more correct on the Shelby aspect of it versus how it was before. When I build these cars, I don't build them concourse by any means, but I also do like to follow certain things as closely as possible to original. Wiring is one of them. I hate just wiring all over the place, or wire looms or zip ties and whatnot, and this car was filled with them throughout the whole engine compartment and all throughout the trunk. So I went ahead and took all that apart, ripped it all apart, and wrapped the wires and made it more towards the original look, and put the actual snap retainers in to hold the wires in place properly. I hope when Reese sees this car for the first time, he is shocked as far as if he remembers what it looked like, and now, because he hasn't seen it for a good minute, and sees it now, I hope he just understands what took place here, and I hope he's just, you know, excited and happy. He plans on taking it to Cruisin the Coast, which of all the years of building my own Mustangs, I've never been able to have one ready for Cruisin the Coast, and he's coming in and he's gonna take it and drive it around, and hopefully he'll have an awesome time, and, you know, get a lot of people to talk to him and converse about it, and just share the experience. This car, after it leaves this shop, I believe next Tuesday, it's gonna go to the exhaust shop. And then after that, I believe it's coming back here until it's ready to go get the convertible top installed on the 25th. That will be an exciting day. I want to say it was, Reese, it was a pleasure. Now that I'm done, I still have a few things to do and some detailing to do and washing it and whatnot, but it was a pleasure working on the car. Definitely can't wait to see you again when you get out here and we can go over the car together. I have some permanent scars That'll always be a reminder of this car. We'll have them of every car. So if you see some blood here and there on your car, don't get scared. It's probably my blood, or it should be. It truly was a pleasure building this car. You made it very easy on me. Communication, funding, all around. Very, very satisfied and happy. Thank you.
All right, moment of truth. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it. Heart's starting to race now. There it is. Woo-wee! Like a brand new car. First glimpses of the 1965 Mustang convertible. Kevin, I can't believe how far this car has come.